After nature's long fury, humanity learns at last to stand, breathe, and rebuild with steady, disciplined human hands. Where the great waters feed the earth, a new age opens, bright with order and hard-won human knowledge. From humble mud homes, they raise walls of stone and will, turning survival into purposeful public life today. For the first time, memory is pressed into clay, dried by sun, and made permanent against forgetting together. In the king's steady gaze live order, faith, and quiet power, stronger than shouted threats or fear, always. By 3200 BCE, Sumer is no longer merely surviving. It is planning, building, and shaping destiny daily still. They have a king, and he is also a bridge to the gods, binding crown and temple together. When people believe in tomorrow, an empire begins to grow, not by conquest, but by shared purpose today. The fields become a heartbeat, and water becomes blood, carried by canals through the body of land together. The river still roars, but now it can be guided, divided, and returned in seasons of need always. A dam declares a new truth. The harvest will be mastered, protected, and multiplied by design still. Water is measured, and with it, society finds its shape, its schedules, and its rules of fairness now. Beyond the walls, even the horizon becomes a resource, mapped in mind and sought with intent today. The wild is domesticated and turned into strength, as beasts become partners in work and travel together. Each furrow is a promise written into the soil, repeated with every sunrise and seasons turning always. Writing is born to count, to remember, to govern, and to make agreements outlast the speaker still. A strong city-state is where every road leads to exchange, carrying goods, news, and reputation outward now. Wealth isn't only in granaries, but in hands that can trade, craft, weigh, and keep records at last. Religion doesn't stand outside power. It breathes through law, ceremony, and the daily rhythm of duty and time. When water follows its channel, society follows its course, learning discipline from engineered flow with care. They build larger boats because their vision outgrows the shore, demanding routes beyond familiar reeds as one. Wood, rope, and resin become a road across water, stitched by craft and tested by wind for all. And then they reach the sea, where distance becomes possibility and risk becomes opportunity across the land. A harbor is where beauty meets power, where timber and tide display authority without a word in this dawn. Here, every horizon carries a price, measured in salt, bronze, grain, and safe passage for all to see. Hands pull ships as if pulling fate itself, muscles and ropes turning commerce into motion across the land. Sturdy timber ships carry Sumer into the world, their hulls heavy with promise and profit in this dawn. Every crate is a treaty that needs no words, sealed in clay and honored by law for all eyes. The sea both feeds and tests, offering wealth while demanding courage, skill, and attention by shared design. A seal is pressed, so trust can travel farther than any voice can reach with steady purpose. The king appears where wealth is born, witnessing bargains and making order visible to all for all to see. Bronze speaks, and the age changes color, from stone to metal, from chance to precision under a widening sky. From fire they cast tools, prestige, and possibility, shaping daily life and distant trade together through daily ordered work. Trade makes them strong, cooperation makes them rich, as city-states connect through shared standards in every turning season. From above, the harbor is a machine of power, its moving parts made of people in the open air. Horses and cattle are not beasts now. They are imperial speed, labor, and distance, conquered for all to see. The king rides with the journey, because expansion is command, and presence turns travel into rule under a widening sky. New lands don't arrive. You must go and find them, guided by water, stars, and maps through daily ordered work. Law is born when promises must hold, even when strangers meet and prophet tempts betrayal in every turning season. Mathematics rises to measure the world, divide it fairly, and make planning stronger than luck in the open air. Astronomy awakens to read the sky, steady the earth, and place seasons under human attention for all to see. When they look upward, fear begins to fade, replaced by patterns, calendars, and confidence under a widening sky. Plenty becomes the foundation of peace, because hunger no longer writes the rules of tomorrow through daily ordered work. Disaster is no longer destiny. It becomes only a smaller test, answered by preparation and craft in every turning season. True power lives where sea routes are controlled, where docks decide who enters and who waits in the open air. Each lift of cargo is a step toward the throne, built by labor, order, and trust for all to see. From writing, power becomes precise, turning spoken intent into records that can be enforced under a widening sky. They build not for today, but for generations, laying systems that outlive any single reign through daily ordered work. The horizon becomes the newest border, inviting scouts, merchants, and builders to push outward in every turning season. Bronze makes work faster, and ambition larger, as tools sharpen time and widen possibility in the open air. Innovation enters the field, and the field feeds the city, strengthening walls with full bellies for all to see. To measure land and water is to build civilization, turning nature into an organized partner for all who live here. Everything flows to the harbor like blood to the heart, carrying value, news, and reach under the rising morning sun. Salt, fish, grain, bronze. Sumer learns to price the world, and the world begins to listen across the ancient wide world. He knows, whoever holds the harbor holds the future, because roots decide wealth and influence in the years still ahead. Temples rise as grand as palaces, because life is believed to come from the gods above for many generations to come. Belief binds them, like mortar binds stone, holding communities together through ritual and shared restraint for all who live here. Records turn ritual into a system, so offerings, laws, and labor can be counted and repeated under the rising morning sun. When the sun sets, the harbor stays awake, torches marking commerce like constellations on Earth across the ancient wide world. Now Sumer doesn't just live, Sumer leads, teaching others what order can create from mud in the years still ahead. Night is no longer darkness, but a stage for intellect, where plans replace panic and guesswork for many generations to come. They count stars to measure time, harvests, and fate, reading patterns where others see only night for all who live here. From tiny marks, a map of the heavens is born, guiding calendars, voyages, and ceremony under the rising morning sun. Production surges because they have plans, numbers, and law, turning workshops into steady engines across the ancient wide world. Other city-states arrive not only for goods, but for order, seeking stable rules to trade in the years still ahead. In the sea wind, his power speaks without words, seen in discipline, banners, and calm for many generations to come. Weights and measures become the foundation of trust, making fairness visible in every transaction for all who live here. A single seal replaces 1,000 oaths, because clay remembers when voices drift away under the rising morning sun. A trade fleet becomes the empire's bloodstream, carrying wealth outward and drawing rare goods home across the ancient wide world. Prosperity shows itself, not in speeches, but in rhythm, markets, labor, and laughter through streets in the years still ahead. He walks among the people, so power never loses reality, and policy stays close to soil for many generations to come. The river remains fierce. Humans are simply wiser now, guiding force into channels and gates for all who live here. A standing work is the reply to catastrophe, proof that memory can become architecture under the rising morning sun. Temples climb high so the sky can see their gratitude, and the city can gather beneath across the ancient wide world. Faith creates discipline, and discipline creates prosperity, turning belief into dependable daily behavior in the years still ahead. And then power returns to its home, ascending steps built by countless hands and seasons for many generations to come. Each step is a generation that defeated hunger, carved into stone by labor and patience for all who live here. On the map lie lands not yet named, waiting for routes, treaties, and new markets under the rising morning sun. He does not dream of war. He dreams of roots, of roads that bring people together across the ancient wide world. Writing rests beside the map, and history formally begins, fixed in clay beyond any life in the years still ahead. A harbor sunrise is an economic dawn, lighting ships, ropes, and the promise of distance for many generations to come. They move like formation, shaped by law and habit, turning routine into strength and speed for all who live here. The fields look calm, but behind them stands organized mind, counting water and planning seasons under the rising morning sun. He never separates from the soil, for soil crowns every throne with food, work, and peace across the ancient wide world. Production walks with trade, and trade feeds production, a circle that widens the kingdom's reach in the years still ahead. They measure time, so the future never loses them, holding seasons like tools in hand for many generations to come. No matter how strong, they still bow to life, placing offerings with humility and restraint for all who live here. He returns to the map chamber, as if seeing tomorrow, weighing paths with calm authority under the rising morning sun. One line of script can outlive a dynasty, carrying truth across centuries of dust across the ancient wide world. Sumer enters a new era of law, of numbers, and of recorded history, opening doors to worlds in the years still ahead.